Your Honorable Council Rinpoche and Your Honorable Gary Domala, Minister for Security, Department of Central Tibetan Administration. Then we have former Security Minister Pema Chenjola and all sort of MPs, Member of Parliament, CTA Dharamsala, and then Sonam Redula and his family. We have so many guests who came all the way from different parts of the countries. So today we are standing here at a historic location which has become the symbol of Tibetan resistance against the invading foreign power, that is People's Liberation Army of PRC in the recent history of Tibet. This shall also now inspire our pedigree to fight against the same enemy to restore our sovereignty. The Camp Hale, Colorado was chosen place where Chushi Gangdruk, the resistance guerrilla army of Tibet, received its first modern military training with the help of US agencies. This is without any doubt one of the proudest moments of my life. I am indeed filled with immense pride and inspiration as never before. Inspiration to continue its legacy and inspiration to work for our dreams until it is fulfilled. On this very soil, our fearless freedom fighter, Tibetans were trained and destined to instill fears in the ranks and files of enemies who dare attack our sovereignty in 1950. We must and shall remain resolute and shall defend our freedom, come what may. My heartfelt thanks go to Professor Carol of Colorado University for her dedication to cause and for spearheading this initiative for us to see and feel. When I heard about you some decades ago, I had a great desire to meet you and hear more about events that we have not been able to document it as you did. I would also like to thank Regional Chapter President of Konjo Tenzila and Tenzin Osala for spearheading this initiative for us to see and feel. When I heard about you, my thanks goes to the President of Regional Chushi Gangdruk, Mr. Narsangla and Konjo Tenzila for their support that helped all of us to witness this moment even after 70 years in exile. I'm also very happy to many friends and members of the movements who come from all over the places. I, on behalf of organization, let me thank the chief guest, Gary Domala, and Council Rinpoche, and Professor from University of Colorado, who are here to grace the occasion. As we all know, Zosa Antu Goputashi, the founder of Chushi Gangdruk, had one goal only, one that was to force out the invading People's Liberation Army so that Tibet remained an independent country for us. He was the central figure in Chushi Gangdruk in many battles and operations against the Chinese People's Liberation Army after Chinese invasion of Tibet in 1950. The group helped assisting the 14th Dalai Lama in his escape from Lhasa to India in 1959. It was of becoming formidable army and would have given out the weak PLA back to China if their support lasted few more years. On this day, let us remember them and say prayers for those brave hearts who are not with us today. After coming into exile, Antu and his land continued to rebuild this Chushi Gangdruk for many years, mainly to become formidable force outside Tibet, providing resistance and were making ready to fight back when opportunities called for. Today, after over 60 decades, when I look over the office, it looked like and worked like an ordinary organization to help livelihoods, which is not correct at all. It was the first Pan-Tibet organization was formed in Free Tibet and given due recognition by Tibetan government in exile for the objects. Tibetans from all regions have joined the purpose and dedicated to the objects. If we look into Tibet, the pathetic conditions our brothers and sisters are subject to by same enemy, and also the situation in exile is also not better. The need for this organization is ever greater. We need to rethink and reorganize it to live up to the expectation of Andus and strategically planned to revive, to work towards achieving its founding goals and aspirations, so that it can be passed on to the next generation of leaders with much vigor and proper programming. Because Tibet is still reeling under the brutal occupation of People's Republic of China, and the oppression on Tibetan people continues. Due to time constraint, I won't go into too much detail, but what I feel is important is this historic site needs to be recognized and memorials built sooner than later for this goal. I'm ready to work with you all so that it remains intact for the times to come. Thank you all very much.
Honorable Kiribuche, dignitaries of the Central Tibetan Administration and the Tibetan Parliament in exile, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and most importantly, our honored Tibetan veterans. We are gathered here today on these sacred grounds of Camp Hale, Colorado, to honor, to commemorate, and to pay tribute to the extraordinary courage and sacrifice exemplified by the brave Tibetans, the unsung heroes who put their lives on the line for our leader, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, for our nation Tibet, and for our people. History is important as it allows us to gain valuable insights into our past, navigate the present, and shape our future. The Chushi Gangdruk Army, this chapter in our history, is a remarkable story of Tibetan unity, resilience, and perseverance. The army comprised of members from all three provinces of Tibet, and in the face of overwhelming odds, they stood steadfast, defending their homeland against the Chinese army. Despite facing enormous challenges and unimaginable hardships, they stood strong, they stood tall, and fought back with courage and might, refusing to surrender to despair or defeat. In the face of adversity, they found strength. In the depths of despair, they discovered resilience. And in the darkest hours, they showed the path forward for the nation, inspiring a whole new generation of Tibetans who yearn for freedom. The Chushi Gangdruk Army were not just soldiers. they were warriors, ingrained with a sense of duty and honor that transcends borders and ideologies. They knew the risks, yet they never wavered, for they understood that the cause they fought for was much greater than themselves. Today, as we gather here at the Dumra in Camp Hale, Colorado, to commemorate and honor their memory and the sacrifices they made, we must also remember to celebrate their lives and legacy. For though they may have been outnumbered and outgunned, they never lost hope. They stood firm in the face of tyranny, refusing to yield to oppression. Their legacy is a reflection of the Tibetan spirit, one of resilience, determination, and unwavering resolve. Today, despite enduring decades of oppression and hardships, Tibetans in Tibet and in exile remain steadfast in the pursuit of freedom and justice. Our unwavering spirit, inspired by those who came before us, shines brightly as a testament to the power of the human spirit to preserve against all odds. Through courage, determination, and unwavering commitment to the cause, Tibetans realize that even in the darkest of times, there is hope. The resilience of the Tibetan people in the face of adversity serves as a beacon of inspiration to all. To all those brave martyrs who sacrificed their lives for Tibet, I salute you and I offer my deepest gratitude. Your bravery will never be forgotten and your sacrifice will always be remembered. May your legacy endure for generations to come, inspiring all who hear your story to stand up for what is right and just. As we move on from these sacred grounds of Camp Hale, Colorado, where these brave Tibetans made a commitment to fight for Tibet, let us honor their memory and ensure that their sacrifices do not go in vain by making our own pledge to continue the struggle for freedom and justice for Tibet. Good job! Good job!